10 things that you can do to promote CTE when you go back home, and I just kind of want to go through those real quickly for you. Now, understanding, of course, that these assets and resources that you heard about yesterday are not available quite yet, but will be very shortly in mid-May and will be available for download on the website. You will be the first people to know when that website is launched, and I just kind of want to give you a little bit of a preview and maybe some guidance on how to use some of this stuff, and then I'm sure that you will be reminded of this again in about 4 weeks when the website goes live. First of all, you'll have the download and be able to use the brand image and logo, both the state versions that you'll have. We would hope that those of you in, say, North Carolina don't use the Montana logo, but hopefully that goes without saying. But I guess I had to say it. So you'll be able to download and use that brand image. We will have it in a number of file types for you that you can put into PowerPoints and on printed materials and so forth and so on. Second thing that you can do is to use that web bug that we talked about, having that on the home page of your site. We would prefer, and this will be in the usage guidelines that you get, we would prefer that you use the Learning That Works for America line on this, on your website. They don't call it the World Wide Web for nothing. I mean, it is worldwide. So we like to have that brand be there on your home page of your websites if you decide to use this. However, if you want to link that particular ad or graphic to CTE specific information in your state, please feel free to do so. That's a great thing to do. There'll be PDFs of the brochure that you've all received. You'll have that available to download and then put on your site for other people to download from your site. As I said yesterday, we will be sharing with you a PowerPoint, not quite as robust as the one you saw yesterday, but certainly it's a PowerPoint presentation that tells the branding story to your colleagues within the state. It's kind of a CTE family, inside the family type of PowerPoint, though you will be able to use things like the talking points that you have in your packets, and you'll have PowerPoint templates to build your own story as you go out and tell what CTE is doing in your state and communities. One of the things that we would encourage you to do would be to assemble some sort of task force within your state to take a look at what the messaging is, what the assets are, what the initiatives are, and figure out, come up with some ideas on how you can make this brand initiative a little more robust in your states. And then tell us what you're doing and how you're doing it. It's great that you guys all have the packets. It's important that we go back and, as I've said, CTE evangelize within your own family, CTE family, and then beyond out into the communities and across your state. You'll have this poster arrive in the mail. Big tube will come in the mail to you here in about a week or so. And you'll be able to, you'll have one of these and the opportunity to order more of those online when the site goes live. And you'll be able to order and distribute the brochure. One of the things that we think would be a good idea would be to get copies of this brochure and send it out with a cover letter to some people that you think really need to see this and read this. And use some of the talking points that you have. You'll see, as I said, 2 sets of talking points currently in your packet, and those will be online as well for both business and industry and for general audiences. And you'll be able to reach out to these key audiences in this way. You'll see in the talking points that we have much of the data that the Secretary was talking about that we needed. It's in there. And not only that, but we encourage you then, particularly in the general audience side, to plug in specific examples of successful programs, of outstanding data that is state-specific. I think part of the power and value of this brand initiative is it's a national initiative, but it gives you the opportunity to tell a local and state story because people are really interested about what's going on in their own backyard. This campaign, I think, allows you to do that without losing the spirit and the brand identity of the national program. Visit the website when it goes live. How many of you subscribe to the blog? More of you need to do that. It's going to become a very great place for information. You'll get, it's happening every day. You'll find that I think everything's posted about 2 in the morning. So when you get to work, there's your post from the blog, and pour yourself a cup of coffee and read about CTE. That's a great way to start your day. Right? Of course. Little Folgers in your cup and a little CTE on your blog. Then the big thing is we need to find out what you guys are doing. I mean, as you have successes, as you're using these materials, the website is going to be an opportunity for you to talk with everybody and share the success stories, share the way that you are using these materials. You know, if you've got a great idea, post it up there. Let's do it. We have not come up with all the magic bullets yet, and we expect that this group will have a lot of them. So those are 10 things that you can do. It's a lot of it's very much low-hanging fruit. We'd love to have you get involved in this program. A number of people have asked about yesterday and today about balancing the state and national branding, and as I expected there would be, there are going to be some areas where we probably don't have answers yet, but there's going to be kind of a balance here between the national and the state brand usage, and we really want you to adopt this on the state level and the national level as well. Most of the time, the national message is going to be the one that is going to be preferred, and then you can backfill that, I think, with state-specific stuff. So basically, the message is a CTE brand message from a national perspective. Your opportunity then is to say, you hear what the national story is, here's a local example of how we're making that happen here in our state. And those talking points, as I said, that you have, provide some of those suggestions for you. Again, the success of this is going to be about starting right and getting off on the right foot and understanding the value of a brand and the stewardship of a brand. So there is, and I think in your packet there is a hard copy of what we call the brand user agreement. And essentially this will be an online form that when you go to access the resources on the site, you know, it's kind of like the user agreement that when you get software, you know, and it says here, I agree to do these things, I agree to adhere to these user guidelines, click, 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 I agree, and then once you do that, you'll have access to all the resources that you want. So it's all about maintaining that integrity of the messaging and the brand. And I will tell you that according to the user agreement, usage is not assignable. What that means is that if you download it for your department, you cannot, by the agreement, give that material to anybody else unless they too go in and sign the user agreement. So there's some pretty specific guidelines about that. We want this to be used, but we want it to be used responsibly from a branding standpoint. And as I drilled you yesterday with this quarter-inch hole thing, I mean, that's what this is all about. This is about features and benefits. This is about why CTE matters and why it matters to the people that we're talking to. I think a lot of what the Secretary said underscored the value of that and the need for that. I also found it really interesting yesterday. Our noontime speaker, it's like we shared notes, but we didn't. He used the words, we are your customer. He used words like, we want to be part of this. We want to, we want outreach. And so I think it was pretty evident yesterday that business and industry at a very high level is very interested in partnering with you, and we need to go out and make that sort of thing happen. Just some real key branding guidelines. I mean, this is the kind of thing that you will see in the brand agreement and in the user guidelines when you get it. We never separate the tagline and the CTE and the three little concentric arcs. Those three things always have to travel together, okay? This logo can't be used on things that are going to be for sale. We don't want just anything out there with the logo on it. And if you have any questions, the user's guide is going to be very detailed as to what you can and what you're advised against doing with the logo. I don't want the association to appear to be the logo police, okay? We're not going to be logo Nazis, but there is a brand stewardship here that I think is really important for us to maintain. So again, what's next? The poster mailing, the web launch soon, where everything is going to be, updates via email, and we want you to share your ideas, successes, reactions, and one of the greatest challenges that we've had in working with this initiative over the past 3 or 4 months is photography. I know that we've had some comments on fewer hard hats, and everybody starts to look at what those pictures are. If you've got photographs, please share them. Now, here's the thing about photographs. We got to have releases on everybody who's in it. If they're under 18, we have to have signed releases from their parents, and those releases have to specifically say that you can assign that they assign their rights to not only you, but other people who you authorize for that use. All the photographs that we have used are either stock photos or have come from states where we have those types of agreements and those releases. If you have that sort of resource in your state, we could sure use that stuff. So please forward those types of things to Aaron. Couple of specific questions, and as I said, I don't have answers to them necessarily. We did understand, though, that is the great state of Georgia represented here today? There we are. New state vision was very much making education work for all Georgians. Is that your, okay? Sounds like we're pretty much in line there. I hear Nevada just invested in the development of a new logo for CTE. Is the expectation that the state shed independent logos? Wow. I don't think so, but I do think that if we're going to try to build a national brand, that eventually this should ride along with that at some point. I don't have a really great answer for that. The one I really don't have a really good answer for is Idaho, that calls it PTE. I have no idea what to do with that at this point, but we'll have to figure out something about how that works. And I'll work directly with the folks at the great state of Idaho to do that. Couple of other little housekeeping items here that I want to do before I try to get us back on schedule. First of all, Aaron tells me that today only, between 12 and 5 in the Jackson room, which is directly across the hallway here, there's going to be a video set up, and you can actually go into that room, and this is open to states or vendor companies or partners, and you can sit in front of a video camera and say, CTE learning that works for my state, and we can capture that on video, and we can have that for use on the blog. We can have it on the website. You can have it, I would imagine, for use in your state. So don't miss this opportunity to, I guess, go on camera and be part of the campaign from a video standpoint. Today only, between 12 and 5, across the room in the Jackson room. So I would hope that we would have everybody here take that opportunity, about 5 minutes, to do that. Now, I know that you've all been waiting to see who won yesterday's contest. It was tough, I tell you, as tough as anything I've ever done, I think. And I'm not going to name names, but there were just some really interesting things I thought that happened. One group, look at some of these were some really great words, you know. Centrifuge, I like that. Procrastinate, I'm trying to figure out, okay, what's that got to do with anything? But maybe, I don't know, I thought that was kind of fun. Anecdotes, that was one that came up a few times, which I thought was really good. I wonder where this one came from. But it's really clever, and I think Connecticut also put their own in there too. I think that was part of it. Here's one that I thought was really interesting. Anybody see a letter C in that word anywhere? Maybe they should have gone to the first group that had literacy up there. I'm not sure. Maybe it was just brainstorming. There are no bad ideas, I guess. But the winning group had a wide range of words. Here's just some of them. They were just all over the place. My favorite were the last two. Gesticulate. And obviously, in coming up with this list of words, they were heavily medicated. So the people who get the 100 brochures is this group, and you all know who you are, and we will get you the film. Well, we have some really great words. As you've seen, the design for many of the materials we're doing has all those words kind of in the graphics. We may choose some of these, though medicate will probably not be among them. Again, I truly appreciate your interest in what's going on here. We will truly appreciate your support and your involvement in this. We're very excited about this kickoff, and we think that when you start to see things coming through on the website and so forth, that it will really keep the momentum going here. As I said, this is not a one-off deal. This is it's not a sprint. It's a bit of a marathon, I guess, but we certainly do have, we have the course charted for ourselves. We will appreciate any updates or any information or input or questions that you have. This is your campaign. This is your brand messaging initiative. We're just trying to give you the resources to help tell the story in a very compelling way. So.